Well, hi everyone. So, a little bit of a surprise for you all today. It's supposed to be warm. It's actually not that warm.
No.
The winds are a little cold, but we have a surprise for you. So, we got up this morning and we have driven down to Matheson and taken the road. And we are now just standing where we stopped before after our very long walk, but we are standing here with our trucks. So we actually managed to navigate the road. There was some snow, and I'll drop the footage in fast forward for you of the drive in here.
If you're not comfortable and you're not sure about it, then we don't have to do it.
So what we'll do is we'll do this. We'll try without 4x4, and then we'll see how we go.
Oof. Not well.
Still quite thick. Just go center to where you are, my location.
Don't see anything like that. No, I've lost connection.
Okay. But now we are just sort of gathering ourselves together, and we're going to try and make it onto the actual property itself. And yeah, we're going to take you guys along for the ride. So technically, we should follow. Can you see this? Yeah, straight down there. feel like a teenager again. Said I feel like a teenager again. Going what we call bundu bashing. How did you get there? So for those of you watching, we're actually officially on our property. So what we're doing is we're following a road, and I'll point it out on the map to you. But it's where the lowest amount of growth is. So when they logged this about 14 years ago, we're sort of following along that road, which we actually had hoped would be a little bit clearer than it is. But pretty much this is what we're facing along here, that we're going to have to start clearing so that we can get the camper in, which is actually a bit disappointing, I guess is the word. I suppose stressful, because there's a lot that we have to do to get that in, or get in here. It's like I say, this was a logging road, so it was a lot wider and clearer at one point, but of course it has had growth. So but we'll carry on and we'll touch base. Our Christmas tree for next year. Lots of birch. Yeah, just doing pictures and stuff. Just taking pictures. All right, so we made it back, obviously.
Yes.
It was an interesting day.
Yeah.
um, it was kind of nice to actually get there.
Yes.
The when we got to the road, it was a little daunting. I mean, like when we the first part of the road, as you could see from the clip that we threw in there, there was a lot of snow, and the truck was like sliding and stuff. And I mean, I don't know. I was pretty determined. We were
Yeah.
going to
Well,
get
I
there.
mean, you could
Like,
see that after that first patch of snow that it was there. It was
cleared up.
cleared up.
Yeah,
So, and once we got past it, it was more cleared up than I was
yeah.
expecting it to be. So, that was good.
Yeah, it was. We actually stopped and picked up, if you remember from the video, the last video that we did when we walked there,
Mm-hmm.
we found a beaver skull on the road. We didn't pick it up. We did pick it up today, but the jaw was missing. So we do have the top part, not the bottom part. But anyway, we'll keep an eye and see. Maybe we'll see the other one, but I doubt it. But anyway, we picked that up on the
We
way
were going
back.
for sort of a Blair Witch
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre aesthetic on the property.
Yes, it's gonna hang it on the front of the truck, But anyway, so we made it there. I'll be honest, like I was really feeling a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, a bit at first, for sure.
Um, there's a lot to clear.
Yeah.
It's a lot less clear than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm also at the same time not that surprised. It just means a lot of work.
It
Right,
is,
which is
but
fine.
we
I
knew
mean,
that was going to be the case.
yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of extra sort of will be extra firewood, kindling, that sort of
that
thing.
I'm really happy
it,
about,
so.
and actually, like a lot of those smaller trees, we have an idea. I have an idea for fences, and a lot of those, very smaller trees and stuff like that are definitely like right up that alley for that. So that's good.
Make some extra money with hideous decorative stick arrangements.
There you go. Yeah, I'll make it art.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, like it was a little, and I mean, like it's still wet, right? Like I mean, there's still snow and there's still
I think
ice and stuff.
that was more daunting for me than the growth, because I mean, the growth is kind of just like, well, you cut it.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll take some time and some effort, but I mean, really, you just cut it. Like, there's nothing much to be said for it other than that. But some of the spots on the ground where there's sort of the brush growth, the tall grass, I don't even know what you want to call it exactly. I mean, it's not tall right now. It's all dead and flat on the ground. But the way water had sort of pooled and marshed in some of those areas, that was a little bit unnerving at first. It wasn't deep water or anything like that. Like, it wasn't bad, but it just sort of was like, okay, but how do you, I mean, this is difficult enough to walk on, never mind driving a truck and a camper through here.
And I mean, like
it will dry out.
Yeah, it'll dry out. I mean, like
it's not the end of the world, but it was just that initial walking in and being like, oh, good, we're living on a swamp. That's great.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like a lot of it is like, there's still snow there. I mean, like, and some of that snow is still pretty deep, right?
In its way. I mean, not like when we were that last there.
No, definitely not. I mean, like, yeah, it was a bit like, oh yeah, this is a marsh, but it really isn't. I mean, once you sort of honestly like looking in beyond that road and that path, it looks okay.
It does.
Now we didn't get all the way into as far as we'd like to. We're going to try again. And that's obviously a different video, but I think
today it wasn't cold, but it wasn't warm either, and we're still, I don't know, I won't speak for you, but I'm pretty out of shape right now from being in here for
if round is a shape, I'm in shape.
Like,
but...
I mean, there was enough, like, we spent a while walking through and cutting through and stuff, so I mean, it's not like, we took one step off the path and we're like, oh my god, I'm done, but like, I was pretty tired by the time we sort of made it into our land and that sort of thing. And I mean, it's not even really that far, but it was just, again, with the ground being so marshy and stuff today, it felt a lot more.
I realized, like, I was carrying too many things. I think I need to find a way not to carry so many things, because I'm worried about, like, oh, I'm going to drop the phone, I'm going to drop the camera, I'm going to drop the, whatever else I'm carrying. And that
we'll start taking a backpack in instead.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, that'll make it easier. But I mean, like, the plan is that we get stuff there so that we can leave stuff on the property. I mean, we were the first vehicle to drive that road this year. For sure. So yeah, I mean, like, it's it was a good day. It was good. It felt good to get on the property.
It was nice to just see, like we said, there is a little bit of snow still around in patches and stuff, but it was still nice to be out there and see the majority of what it actually looks like when it's not buried in snow. Like, everything's the bulk of things look pretty melted around. So I mean, you get a much better sense of it. And I mean, one thing that I was happy about was when we sort of walk off the road on the path going in. When we were last there, because of the snow, I thought, the way I sort of sank into it, I thought that stepping off the road once it melted was going to be this huge dip in the road, really, and there isn't actually a dip really at all there. Like, no. It's just kind of road to land. Like, so yeah, that was a huge relief.
I think that I had that feeling. Like, it was like, oh my word, are we going to end up like in Australia? You know? But yeah, I mean, there is a lot to do. It is really exciting, and it's been kind of so long coming to get that far. I'm really looking forward to doing some more. Like, it was so on the way in, and you'll see little bits of this in the videos that we sort of have intercut there earlier. But we saw moose droppings, a lot of moose droppings, but we were kind of happy. Just like initially, I'm just looking at like what's around there, and like, we got Christmas trees growing on our property, like, and birch trees and poplars and all these other trees, and lots of stuff we're going to identify, but ferns, which you really like and I really like too. Quite a lot of mosses as well. I saw like 3 or 4 different varieties of moss. So, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing birds. But I will say this, as we parked and got out of the truck and before we started filming, the first thing I heard was a train.
Yes.
I heard
I was way off in the
distance. It wasn't like it was like barreling past, but I did hear a train.
I don't mind it though.
No.
We can hear the train here as well, so once in a while, and I mean, I do love the part of the reason we're doing this is the idea of being removed from everything, but I think it does give you just a little hint that you're still connected to society.
That there's a world out there. Yeah.
I mean, and I will take that any day over police sirens and just sirens in general, and city noise as it is. I can deal with the once in a blue moon, the little train horn going in the back.
Then, and finally, so when we got back to the truck, and I will fast forward our walking there. When we got back to the truck, we sort of stopped and had lunch and had sandwiches. It was like almost 4 o'clock, just after 4. No,
it was 3 something.
Are you sure? Because we left there about 4:45. Left the town about 4:45.
Everything's mixed up because we haven't changed the clock in the truck.
Okay, yet, that'll do it. Yeah, so it could be that.
It's still last season in the truck,
and it's an hour off.
Yeah,
because we've moved 2 times.
Oh yeah.
So, and then we spraying forward. So yeah. Anyway, so our clock is wrong in the truck. I should change that.
But we ate at some time today.
We ate at some time today. It was late in the afternoon. And the only thing that was like, oh no, was I heard a woodpecker.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that's annoying. Because in case you don't know, as beautiful as they are, and we posted a photo the other day of one, they can really, really be disastrous for trees. So, so that's a little frustrating.
Yes,
but oh well.
I don't think that woodpecker's taking down the whole.
You better not be.
The whole forest.
There's a lot of trees for him to take down. But anyway, guys, so that's where we're at. We went and we conquered. We went on a little expedition, and it didn't feel like going as Scott of the Antarctic.
Yeah, and it was actually quite. I was sort of not put off, but a little maybe confused. I don't know. Just when we drove in and actually, well, we bypassed the land ever so slightly, though, like by like half a minute or something. But it was like, I mean, I knew it was clearly not going to take the same amount of time as it took us to walk. In there, but it seemed like, wow, we put in a huge amount of effort for what's really not very much at all. Like it didn't really feel
it went by like that.
Yeah, like it was a really quick drive.
And like even I was like, there's got to be more hills. There's got to be more to go.
It seemed like it,
and there really wasn't.
In any case,
anyway, sorry, we're off on tangents there. But yeah, so we made it. We are going back. We're going to start doing some clearing. Yeah, we'll obviously take you guys along for that ride. But if you are enjoying our content, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you turn on notifications, because right now we're posting infrequently, that's probably the best way to know when we're posting a video. And don't forget, please, to follow us on all of our other social media like Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to help support our journey, we would really appreciate that. And you can click on the PayPal link down below in the comment section. So please post your comments, because we love your comments and we love your questions, and we really do look forward to reading them together.
And actually, just quickly on the note, I will say again, this week we had a real sort of internet outage difficulty, so we do love the questions and comments and everything, but sometimes it takes us a bit to get back to them. And I mean, it's crazy because we get the notifications, we know they're there, and we can sort of see them, but we can't actually respond to them. Our internet's good again right now, so knock on wood, it stays that way for a while.
And just for the record, because people were asking, we are actually considering Starlink for internet on the property. We just are looking at the daunting cost of the initial cost of the equipment. It's pretty pricey, so not really in the budget right now. And so, yeah, that is something we're considering. Everyone that we know that has it swears by it. So, that could be the thing. So, so there we go, guys. That's our trip to the property today. And we look forward to seeing you and answering your questions on the next one. Bye.